Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is so good to be back in front of the screen. Happy New Year. If you don't know who I am, my name is Kartiyae, your beauty and lifestyle influencer and UGC content creator. I am here making an appearance on the screen because I want to let you know what we're not doing in 2026 and what we are doing in 2026 to better ourselves. This isn't a glow up about changing who I am. This is about refining her. 2026 is about discipline, alignment, beauty, and peace. And I'm taking you guys with me. This glow up is internal and external. Not rushed, not forced, built on self-respect and intention. Okay, what a glow up means to me isn't trends, isn't perfection, isn't about what's trending or popular. A glow up means imperfection. A glow up means clarity, consistency, and confidence. Becoming the woman your future self already is. For me, a glow up is about waking up proud of your habits. It's how I treat my body, my time, my money, and my mind. The first glow up I want to talk about is getting into your beauty. Simplifying your beauty routines over quality versus quantity. We don't have to wake up at 6 a.m. and just do a peel mask, do a lip mask, do an eye mask, do all the extra things. You don't need to wake up doing all of that. You need to simplify your beauty routine so that you are satisfied with the quality versus the quantity, so it doesn't feel as heavy and it's still a commitment. Skin over makeup. We want a natural glow. We want a natural no makeup routine, something that just freshens up and enlightens our face. You don't have to do a full face. If you want to and that's like what you get into, then I recommend it. But every day, probably not, because you want to make sure your skin barrier is safe. You want to make sure that you are still secure with your own natural beauty and not hiding behind these super expensive cosmetic companies. No, we're not feeding into mass consumption or capitalism. We're feeding into what's affordable, what's doable, and what's necessary. And then a good way for beauty is to have your signature look. What do I mean by that? I mean, what is your signature look? How do people know you or recognize you? What is something that you love and you can just, it feels so personal to you, it feels so intentional. For me, if I have a certain hairstyle, that's going to be my signature. People are going to, know that about me. But it's always about how I dress. I dress very classy, minimalist, and I dress very versatile. So sometimes I might be into a baggy outfit day where I might be more streetwear, or sometimes I'm more classy. Today I had church, so I'm going with a simple jean, mom jean, and a cute button up from H&M. So you need to make sure you have this signature style or signature appearance about you. Also, my fragrance. What are your signature fragrant notes? I love jewelry, so I have the rings, the bracelet, the necklaces, and I always wear my cross. So that feels more signature and personal to me. Whether or not people recognize or notice it, I notice it about myself, and I take the time to really be intentional and care about that and put in that effort. Hair is seen as self-respect, so you always want to make sure you maintenance your hair. In high school, I had a big afro. Well, not afro, I had big curly kinky hair, and I didn't take care or maintenance my curls as much as I should have. They still were cute and just like good, but they weren't well kept. My hair could have just been so much more healthier, and I could have been satisfied, and I could have tamed it more, but there was only so much I could do within my budget. So I remember, just always putting some moisturizer and doing a deep condition, always washing and rinsing my hair, and then putting it in plaits and taking out the next morning, and it would be in curls. For me now, my signature style, it might be a blowout, it might be a silk press, it might be extensions, or it might be a short, simple hairstyle like this. I like to keep my hair very simple. I know the bigger the better, but I haven't really gotten there in my age yet to really just try out those bigger hairstyles and your hairstyle is a statement in the room. For me, if I have everything that looks, I'm satisfied and it looks well put together, then my statement itself, my presence in the room, is the statement. And nails, scent, posture, and presentation. You want to make sure your nails are looking good. We don't want a bad mani-pedi. No, it's polished, it's precise, and it's clean. If you want, I can give you guys a nail tutorial. I do my own nails and they look like I got them done at the salon, but I didn't. I do them myself, and it just takes maybe like 30 minutes to do your nails, and these last me maybe 2 weeks. So it is, if you have the time, I would definitely suggest that you cut back going to the nail salon, because it's overpriced, it's bad, it's unhealthy, and it takes too much of your time. And honestly, nail service to me, it seems kind of rude, because you're paying extra amounts of money for someone else to do your nails when it's the simple thing as a woman to do yourself. And it's like, if you don't have those basic skills, like, what else are you lazy in? What else could you be more, what else could you pour into to become better? So it's something to definitely try, and I'll drop the tutorial if you guys want. This is my favorite like color. I've been wearing this for maybe a month and a half, and I just love this red. I could never find this color at the nail salon, and I'm gonna tell you guys this, the hack is to do your own nails. It's cheaper, it's better, and they'll have the better colors that you want in the store for the polish versus you having to explain what you want to the nail tech. Scent is important. You want to make sure that you smell good. You don't ever want bad odor. No BO. Leave the BO in 2025. It's unnecessary for you not to have deodorant, not to have a scent, not to carry any wipes with you, not to carry basic women hygiene essentials that you could just travel with, or that you could rely on if you are in that position, or if you have, you know, extra sweat, or just, you know, hormones imbalance, whatever. Always keep something with you, because there's always going to be a maybe or if. Never second guess, okay? Always be prepared. And I always learned that stay ready so you don't have to get ready. So I stay ready. You can show up for yourselves with your morning skincare, minimum makeup routine, your favorite scent, and getting ready. I really acknowledge and appreciate your time that you're putting into yourself. That's really important. Lifestyle and glow up, habits and environment. This is really where your habits come in. Your morning routine, your movement, your prayer, your meditation, your journaling, those are key essentials, because your body is needing to move, your body is needing to release. And when we do something like that, it just shows 10 times more appreciation for ourselves, because we're showing up for ourselves and we hear our body, we hear our emotions. So if you struggle with like getting out of bed, or you bed rot the first 30 minutes when you wake up, I would just say don't get on your phone immediately. Just hurry up, get some water, and move your body around. That could be like doing a couple squats, that could be doing a couple sit-ups, that could be sitting in one place and meditating for 10 minutes. It could be just sitting there in the bed and saying your prayer before you get up, before you even open your phone. That is really important, because a lot of the times when we wake up, like, we need to be grateful. We don't need to open our phones and just see all of our notifications and that's the first thing we open up to. I've learned, and I also done research, that this promotes stress and it promotes anxiety as soon as you wake up and start your day. So if you take more time to just set aside for yourself, it'll just benefit you so much more greater within your life and within your routines. Gym is for strength, not punishment. I know lately, since 2020, when we've seen a vast majority of people going to the gym just to release and have like some kind of outlet, but lately it's been giving punishment, and we see all of these, you know, content creators, gym creators, and they're promoting all this, you know, gym routines. They're helping everybody get educated on fitness. We're not really looking in depth with it. It's not a punishment. You don't need to go to the gym every single day. It is a great release if you're going through things, or if you have a lot of weight on your body, or just you're feeling stressed, but it is never a punishment. It's something you're supposed to essentially enjoy, because we're meant to move our bodies and be very fit. But obviously the vast majority of us, if you are populated in the US watching this, you know that the food, and you know, if wherever you are, but once it hits winter, it just, I don't know, it feels very overwhelming to live in a state that has all 4 seasons, because it seems like we all go through the same emotions together, and it just is not a good outlook for me personally. So you want to make sure you go to the gym and you just have this form of release, not for punishment but for enjoyment. Eating to feel light, clear, and energized. I often fast, and I feel so much more better versus binge eating, stress eating, or just eating to eat. And it is so annoying because I've had to really come to a realization that people do just feed themselves, and we do eat unnecessary meat. We don't even need to eat meat every single day or every week, but we do, and we choose to. I had to cut out that McDonald's, I had to cut out that Starbucks, I had to cut all of that out. I only need protein, and my meats look like steak, salmon, chicken, or shrimp, or even ground turkey. I don't like ground beef. I don't eat I cannot stand beef anymore. It just makes me sick. And so I've been eating lighter and fasting for more clarity and rejuvenation with my body, so that I am forced to move, so that I am forced to meditate or journal or find something else to do, instead of just hearing my flesh tell me that I'm hungry or I need a snack. Because 9 times out of 10, you don't. And it's important just to stay hydrated. Take your liquid IV, take your vitamins, your supplements, and you will be fine. Just keep going. It also just gives you so much more energy. A lot of times when we eat full meals after, we're tired. And that's what I started to question. I'm like, why am I tired and I'm eating these full meals? That's not making sense. It's because of what the FDA approves for them to put in the food. And a lot of times we're not looking at the back of these nutrition facts, and you need to, because they taught us this in high school. And I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. Like, I grocery shop and I look at the back every single time, but majority of the time I do, and I take very good caution about it, because it'll tell you on the back what's in it, and you can just look it up, and it'll tell you this gives you cancer, this gives you bloating, this gives you whatever. Like, it'll tell you what the side effects are. It's kind of like the commercials when they're promoting medicine, and they're like, oh, do you feel like this? Do you feel nauseated? Do you feel like you're anxious? Oh, we'll take, this medicine, and then it'd be like side effects: diarrhea, vomiting, and if you're pregnant, do not take this, consult with the doctor, with your physician, blah 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 blah. And they say it really fast and speed it up so you kind of can't hear it, but we always catch it at the end, like, it's like that they're promoting, they're suggesting these medicines and these food for us, knowing that it literally is what is damaging and causing damage to our body. We were never meant to operate in a world that was man-made, so obviously we're gonna have some decline here. So when it comes down to glowing up, look at your health, because 9 times out of 10, it's not about what you're thinking, it's about your health. Your body is connected to your mind, so therefore connect the two. Bluetooth it, okay? Bluetooth it. Come on, get it together. Catch these notes. I'm sending it. You also want to make sure your environment is clean, your environment is safe, you're surrounding yourself with good people, because bad company disrupts good character. And we talked about this today in church, and I cannot explain how well I accepted that message and that sermon, because you cannot be around bad company, because it's going to disrupt your good character, and it's going to disrupt your peace. It's going to dismantle your peace. You want to make sure you are around peaceful people. You want to make sure you are around peaceful people, good company with good character. Your environment is a big aspect in your life. You want to make sure your space is clean, because it keeps a clean mind. You want to make sure you can romanticize your daily life, and not just romanticize showing up for people, or like being in a relationship or being in a friendship. You want to romanticize the small things you do in your daily life that fulfill you, because you cannot be codependent or self-reliant on something else to bring fulfillment in your life. And then when you're stuck by yourself, you're looking like, wait a second, I don't enjoy this alone. You can't do that. And it's okay. We've all been there. Like, I've been there. It's okay. But I'm here to tell you, you need to start romanticizing things in your daily life. Because first of all, I'm so happy I woke up today. I'm so happy I have food in my house. I'm so happy I have a car. I'm so happy I have all these things, and I can romanticize that and be so grateful. And then that just drives this creativity and this inspiration out of me. You need to make sure you create peace where you live, because that is your sanctuary and your body is your temple. So there's no way the two are going to connect or be in alignment if you are dissatisfied with what you have on display. So what you're bringing to surface, you have to make sure you are very intentional, consistent, and mindful about those aspects. My lifestyle glow up is about protecting my energy. I don't entertain chaos like I used to. We need to keep saying that. My lifestyle glow up is about protecting my energy. I no longer entertain chaos like I used to. When it comes down to all of this, your number one, the most challenging part, but the most graceful key connection is your mindset and spiritual glow up. We are just spiritual entities living in a flesh body. This body is not mine. So you need to make sure that you are very aware that your spirit, it connects with your body because we want it to. But a lot of the times it doesn't, and that's okay. You need to make sure you do the ground inner work to understand how the two align, how the two can connect, and when they disconnect, because that's very important. Our spirit does disconnect from our body, and our body tries to take over our spirit. And what is essential to understand is when you have more control and in-depthness and understanding of the spirit and the spirit world that we are surrounded in, you can have more fulfillment and be very intentional and know and you will know that there's nothing in this world that you cannot obtain. There's nothing on this earth that you cannot get. There's no foe, no neighbor, no friend that can obtain anything that you can't. You need to detach yourself from comparison, because at the end of the day, this is your journey, this is your life, and we don't know the destination. We only can have faith and hope and do the work that we need to do to get there. But as long as you keep going, you will get there. That is just truth be told. No matter what, you will get there. So detach yourself from comparison. Those relationships with family, the relationships with your friend, or even your partner in a relationship. I can relate. I just kind of got through something. I'm still getting through it, but you can be in a relationship with someone and they have a separate journey. That doesn't mean you guys don't align or aren't connected, or are not meant to be. It just means that they are on a separate journey than you are, because you guys are two different entities and you guys are two different whole beings. With that being said, you need to make sure you can detach yourself from comparison as if you guys are on the same journey or on the same roadmap, because a lot of times that's not true. It just means you're on separate journeys to then maybe rekindle, or maybe even just understand what your partner purpose is for, or understand who you are to even show up better. So detach yourself from comparison, because we are not meant to compare each other. We are meant to only show God's love and teach God's love. And always, trust God and your intuition. A lot of times we don't listen to our intuition, or we second guess our intuition, and it literally just, because it's hard to understand what your mind is thinking versus your intuition. So just pray for discernment and understanding. Just constantly pray for that. And a lot of times, even when we ignore it, God he still works, and he still works it through. And then we're like, oh, okay, that's what you were saying. Oh, I get it now. Oh, okay, well, okay. I wish I would. Well, you already took care of it, so don't even worry about it. I'm learning this. This is probably the most challenging thing I'm learning. One of the most challenging thing I'm learning. I'm learning how to let go survival mode. I was in a really good relationship and healthy relationship, and just due to a lot of things that I've held on to, it's kept me in survival mode, and I can't really comprehend my reality of what I've built for myself and what I've worked for and what God has blessed me with. And so I'm no longer needing to be in survival mode or show up for people how I used to, or feel a need to comfort others versus putting myself first. And that kind of it neglected my relationship with someone I deeply love. And so I had to step back and realize that I'm not the person I need to become, and I need to still let go of these things that I thought, I let go of, or I wasn't just as aware of. And this is very healthy and just mature and just important. So I stepped back, and we want to look at from a full display in glass, mirror. We want to make sure we let go of survival mode. We don't have to be in survival mode when we have God and when we have faith. And when you have Christ, you know that everything is going to work out according to how God wants it to work out. He's already written your story, knows your plan, and knows what you're going to do before you do it. Therefore, you just have to lean on God, lean with it, rock with it on God. You just have to fall back, trust in Him, and He will do it. He will work. He, will do what He needs to do. I chose peace over proving. Due to the survival mode, I felt like I had to prove myself in certain aspects and relationships in my life, whether that be at work or hang out with friends or being, being with my partner, and, whatever. I felt like I had to prove myself to some certain degree, and not because I didn't know who I was or I wasn't comfortable in my own skin. It was because I was not choosing my peace of understanding and doing the ground inner work that I was so consistent with. I kind of abandoned that part of myself, and so I wasn't as in tune with my spirit. And we need to make sure that we choose our peace over proving, because the flesh wants us to prove, but the spirit sees us already as whole and equal. And so it's important to know that you can feel a disconnect and you can get disconnected, but as long as you are aware and take accountability and trust in God, He will just move mountains for you. With that being said, that ties into emotional regulation. Emotional regulation is when you are in tune with your emotions, and they are regulated at such a high frequency of which you have control, and which you can step back, look at them, and then make your decision or move accordingly, move strategically, versus emotionally reacting. And emotionally reacting means whatever emotion you feel in that moment is how your body reacts, and your mind just goes and reacts, and then you disconnect from like peace, groundness, okay, acceptance, whatever. And you need to make sure you do this will all bring emotional regulation, working with your mind, detaching from comparison, trusting in God, letting go of survival mode, choosing peace over proving. We need to choose peace so we can pursue, getting in touch with calming your nervous system and getting in tune with how your nervous system even works and what triggers these certain anxieties or fears. And a lot of times, parents don't teach us a lot of these things because they're still learning themselves, and they're not in our body. They don't know our body. So we need to make sure that we do this work to feel grounded with ourselves and connected with everyone around us, because we are just a mirror of each other. The biggest glow up in 2026 is how I respond. I'm calm, I'm grounded, I'm not rushed. My mom always told me, when you rush to do something, it never works out. And she said that to me so many times that it's ingrained in my brain, and I know that. And so a lot of times when I'm trying to rush, or I feel myself in a rush, or even getting ready in a rush, I'm like, hold on, take your time, ground yourself, and know that you're gonna get there. It's still gonna be there. It's still working. We don't need to feel like we're in a rush. And mass media, first of all, society, and just even, like I said, your environment, people who you surround yourself in, they can make you feel like you're in a rush. Or maybe, you grew up and you just felt like you had to be in a rush or be the first one. And you need to know that when you rush something, it never works out. And I'm learning that today too, still, even that I already knew this. I'm still learning it, because God teaches us things in layers, and there's nothing you fully learn. There's always things that you are reminded of. Financial and self-discipline glow up. So, soft luxury, not hustle culture. Soft luxury, not hustle culture. Soft luxury, not hustle culture. I'm a hustler, but I don't hustle Like, I don't make money every day. So I guess like you can't call me a hustler, but if there's an opportunity or there is something I know in my heart that I can do, I will do it and I will turn it and I will hustle, okay? I started my first business when I was 18, no, when I was 17, and then I started my first business that made me money when I was 18. Now, I'm not saying, oh, I had all these thousands of dollars, but it was something I accomplished, I pursued, and I did. When it comes to financial and self-discipline, you need to understand that the money that you have will always come back to you. The money that you want is already waiting for you. God gave all his children an inheritance. And I'm learning that as I go. Like, I have an inheritance that is waiting on me. And so you need to understand that however you treat yourself is how you treat your money. I'm gonna say that again. However you treat yourself is how you treat your money. Money is an essential tool that we need to live and survive and work this day-to-day thing called life. So if you treat yourself poorly, you're going to treat your money like that. Money is not meant for you to have when you need it. It's meant for you to have, and it's meant to work for you. It's meant for you to have and never lose. It's meant for you to have and continue to be abundant in all aspects with it, because essentially you grow in layers inside, internally, and you will grow in layers externally, profoundly, I promise. So you need to make sure your money works for you. Don't be working for money, okay? We have to work for money, but work for money so that I can work for you. Learning financial literacy. This is number one. They don't teach us enough in schools, in public schools, and there's like a big decline in Black communities, in Black culture, because we don't understand financial literacy. And a lot of these times, you know, obviously it's about your environment, obviously it's about what you expose your mind to. So if you don't understand how money works and how to make it work for you, it's not because you're dumb, it's not because you are incapable, it's not because you don't want to do it, it's just because you haven't learned. And you need to create self-discipline to give yourself space and time to learn financial literacy. Once you do this, you can be a part of the number 1% of people who actually become successful in a world that's designed for enslavement. Be intentional about your spending. This is really hard for me because I'm a girl and I also was somewhat spoiled as a kid. I was emotionally neglected, but when it came to things that I wanted, my family made it possible. And it wasn't like, oh, I want this, I want that, I want that pink car. It was more so, if I'm feeling down, you know, satisfy me with this. And so that is a really bad habit to create in a child, and it's a bad habit to create as an adult, because then you think you become enslaved to money, and we don't want that. Investing in self, not impressing others. I invest in stuff that fulfill me, not that I think that will fulfill other people. I bought this necklace for my graduation and it was almost $500, and my mom helped me pay for it. And at the time she only had $80 to put on it, but it didn't matter because she wanted to see me happy, and it's what she had. The rest of the money I paid for out of my own pocket. It wasn't because I wanted people to see, well, actually I did want people to see my jewels, but when I put it on my neck, I was more satisfied about it, and I knew how I felt about it. Everyone else was going to be gravitated about it, and so I bought it for myself as a reward for my accomplishment. My nails, I'll buy, these were $2, and then I did them myself, and I love them. My rings, I love jewelry, so I bought my rings. You know, I have some books that I bought, I have some notebooks I bought, my planners, you know, things that fulfill me, bring me gratitude. Certain things in my house, you know, like it's for me, not to impress other people. You want to have financial literacy and knowledge and self-discipline so you can build long-term stability. This is not an easy thing to do, but if you do the work and you have the dedication, you have the ambition, then you will get there and it will happen for you. I cannot be comfortable in my own skin or body until I get there, and I am comfortable with who I am now. Like, I love myself from where I was, but because I see that how far I've come, I know that there is so much potential. There's so much more potential, and I'm inching there closer and closer every single day. Luxury isn't loud, It's being prepared. It's knowing I can take care of myself. I have struggled with this because of my background and a little bit of how I've been structured, but through that I know I can take care of myself with God, and I've done so much of the work and I'm doing it now. I'm literally in season, in preparation to get my inheritance, and God is working through me. So I see that, and I'm not giving up on that. I'm not denying that. I'm just embracing it. Boundaries and relationships, very powerful, very relatable. Saying no without guilt, not over explaining, choosing alignment over attachment, becoming selective with access. I just got out of a relationship, and it was very short. I had some family that I had shared my time to, and it just disrupted my whole structure, routine, and schedule. And I was juggling trying to stand up myself while showing up in a relationship emotionally and vulnerably, and then showing up for a family member who also needed my time or my care. And I just was so drained, and my battery was so low, and I was over explaining this in my relationship, and just not really like stepping back and just knowing that, like, hey, I need to take care of some things. I need to step back and just like realign and recenter, and maybe I can come back. Instead, I kind of like neglected myself and was just holding on to my relationship and holding on for that support when I really needed to be there for myself. So it just can drain the other person, or it can drain just all aspects around you, and you just are not centered in line with yourself or Christ. And so I had this situation, and my partner decided to just go our separate ways for now, because we were on two separate journeys in the time being. And there was, it became very clear that there were specific things that God wanted us to do in this time of preparation, this time of season. And so we had to say no without guilt, and I had to limit my access. I had to be selective with my access, and I had to choose alignment over attachment. And I'm still like getting to that point, and this video honestly inspired that. So just know that you are that girl. You are very centered, you are very determined, and you are going to obtain all abundant things. You deserve all the abundant things in your life. And if you lose yourself in a relationship or you get lost, it is okay. It's not, a bad thing. It's the most pure feeling and mature thing to do as a woman. And so no woman is perfect, nobody is perfect. And so I had to choose alignment for myself, because I was slowly forgetting the things that I essentially needed to do. And when you forget your assignment, God works, okay? When you're in transition mode, it is a blessing of redirection, not a lesson. It's a blessing. And so where I am now, I'm in a stage of just preparation and letting God season me, letting God work through me. And I can only hope that me and that partner find each other. And I know that we will. I think that we will find each other just in a better headspace and mindset. And maybe then we'll be able to realign like we once were, without neglecting ourselves. So I think that's just most important. So in 2026, not everyone gets access to me, and that's not personal, it's protective. I am not interested in dating right now, and that's just it. I'm not interested. I have so much more work and groundwork for me to do until I settle down, and I don't want to date until I'm ready to settle down. Me and my partner have very, very alike values, and so that is just what it is for now. Yeah, 2026 is going to be amazing. This glow up isn't overnight, so don't think you're going to do all these things, write it down, and it's going to happen. If you're choosing yourself this year, I want you to hear me closely. You are already glowing. You clicked on this video, you are already glowing. Your heart, your spirit is in a need of change. Your spirit is in a need. I just planted so many seeds in you, so many seeds in this video, and your spirit is hearing it. Your spirit is waking up. You're like a butterfly in a cocoon, just so close to just shedding and just spreading your wings. So I want you to understand that life is a journey, not a destination. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for tuning in. Subscribe if you are becoming her, and comment something you really loved about this video. Comment what your 2026 glow up looks like. I want you to be very intentional and comment this so that you can come back to this video and see that when you are struggling, or as a reminder, or as inspiration, motivation, whatever you need. I hope you guys could feel the energy I was just pouring in, and stay tuned for the next video. I'm going to have so many great projects I'm working on. I have so many great things that I'm doing, and 2026 is about me being consistent on YouTube, because why not? I've always wanted to be a YouTuber, and I am, and I have my own space, my own everything. There's no way that I'm not pouring into this sprout to make it blossom. So thank you guys for just tuning in and listening to me and hear me talk. Like, that is just so, that's so beautiful, and I'm just so grateful. I give so much grace to all of you watching this, and I just pray that God works through you. I pray that these words, you hear them, and you know, you transcend this year, you transform, you do what you need to do, what God needs you to do, and that your spirit is awakened. You know, we want to be awakened, not woke. Woke is the wrong term, okay? Awakened is the right term, because you are awakened by Christ, you are reborn at his feet, and you are not woke, okay? Let's take woke and just throw it away. Thank you guys so much. Like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.